It's not that bad. You'll be able to edit yourself easily. Oh, hey camera, I almost forgot I set you up over there. I was about to edit myself, but since you're here, we might as well talk about how do you edit yourself. Now, there's a lot of videos on the internet about how to film yourself. How do you set up the camera yourself? How do you set up lighting? How do you frame all that by yourself? But there's not a lot in how do you edit yourself. And what do I mean by that? So I don't just mean like, oh, how do you use Adobe Premiere, After Effects, DaVinci Resolve, Pinnacle Studio. I mean, how do you film yourself on camera and then edit your own performance? Because I think there's a lot of potentially anxiety in a situation like that. There's a lot of people that don't like watching themselves back. Adam Driver, the actor who played Kylo Ren, Ronin 39, I may have made that up, and other big movies, Marriage Story. And he revealed in an interview that he has huge anxiety watching himself perform, and he can't do it. It makes him sick. And if that's the case, then you probably shouldn't be editing yourself and should get somebody else to work on that for you.
No, too desperate.
But for other people that maybe don't have the budget to hire somebody to edit, or you just want to have full control over how you want the edit to be perceived, or it's just something you're trying to learn out and want to at least get a feel of it before you hire someone else, you may have some nervousness about watching yourself perform. And like I said, something I have dealt with a lot in the past. As you may notice, I upload very consistently, where I'll film something and then I'll edit it and I'll hate it. I'll get very anxious about watching myself and I'll just close it, delete all the footage and go like, well, it's a good idea. We'll reshoot it at some point. So how do you get over that? So these are tips that have worked for me, or at least helped me to be able to be more comfortable editing myself. So the first thing I would say is to try to remove yourself from the situation. And I think it's one of those things that's easier said than done. So don't think of it as you are watching yourself. Think of it you are watching another performer and you are just an editor, or you are somebody else and this is not you. I think that could help make you feel a little bit more comfortable when editing. The second tip I'd have is to do a quick raw edit. What I mean by that is you're not adding any color grading, effects, music, sound effects, any of that. You're just cutting out all the bad stuff. So you're watching through it, maybe even speeding through it to cut out information that isn't needed, mistakes, and then to render it out. So that way it is super quick and you're sending it to somebody that you trust, that you feel comfortable with. That's something I do with my wife, is I will, if I feel uncomfortable at a video and I'm not sure if it's good or if I performed well, or if it makes sense, is I'll do that raw edit, send it to her, and ask her, hey, does this make sense? Does it flow well? Do I sound like a goofball? And either she'll reply, yeah, you're a goofball, but you're my goofball. Or she'll be like, hey, this is really good. Like, I think it made sense. I understood what the topic was, and I think it's funny too, which is always big. I always want to hear it's funny. That's important for me. And then once I get that feedback, it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable to now edit that piece, because I know, oh, you know what? She thought it was good. But that's where you need to find somebody that you trust and that is going to give you honest feedback. That's going to tell you, hey, you know what? This doesn't make much sense. And it's going to make you feel better about yourself. The third tip I have is to have an outline. I think having an outline is going to help you a lot more, because if you just film a video, you have a general idea, hey, I'm doing a video about this, and you could start talking about topic A, and you're supposed to go to B, then C, but you could start at A, then go to T, then you're at G, now you're at I, and then O, and then M, R, U, and it's just all over the place. And I think if it's a very jumbled filming process, it could make you more anxious when you're editing it, because you're like, why'd I do this? Why am I talking about this? Doesn't make sense. And it could make it harder, where if there's an outline, you have something to kind of follow that will make it easier to go, okay, this is where you go, boom, boom, boom. And the last tip that at least helps for me is to edit the project as fast as possible. So I notice whenever I film something, if I get maybe bogged down with other projects or something personal and I come back to it a week, 2 weeks later, maybe even a month later, and I go back to watch it, I feel super critical of it. I'm out of the moment of the filming of it, and I feel like I don't quite remember everything, and I'll be a lot more judgmental of myself. Why did I say this? Why did I say this? And I'll end up deleting the edit and deleting all the footage, and I'll be like, I have to reshoot this. And then it's the process that just continues and continues. Where if I film something and I edit within that day or the next day or so, I'm able to still be in that mindset and do that edit, feel comfortable with it, confident with it, and make it a better process where I feel more comfortable watching myself and editing myself. Now, that may be something that's also a little bit harder, is to watch yourself immediately. So it may be better for you to actually film something and then wait a week or two, then go to edit it, because you are removed more from the situation. So I think it all depends on your personality and how you feel about editing yourself. It's going to be different for everybody. Some people are just going to be able to throw out footage and laugh about themselves, making mistakes, and not get stressed out. Other people are going to get very, very stressed out and have a lot of anxiety about it in themselves. So I just felt like I wanted to jump here real quick, give a few tips on how I deal with it, because I think it's something that a lot of people probably deal with, and it doesn't seem like a huge amount of people are talking about it. So, but who do I know? Maybe I did a bad Google search and everyone's talking about it. I'm just bad at Googling or YouTubing, searching. So I don't know. I hope that helps you edit yourself. And yeah, we will talk to you later. I gotta go back to edit this. We'll do it later.